guys, warm Rotaract greetings. I'm Rotaract Shraddha Singh and I have Rotaract Prathamesh Matre with me. We are from Rotaract Club of Linktown, Airoli, and Rotaract Club of Linktown, Airoli has initiated an entrepreneurship development initiative wherein we'll be interviewing some of the startup founders and sharing their journey with us. So today in our second session, we have Amay Katkar with us. So let's welcome him.
Hey,
Hi
hi,
Shraddha, hi Prathamesh.
Hey, hi, Amay.
Thanks
Hello.
for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome. How are you? How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good, enjoying the lockdown.
Enjoying the lockdown. Yeah, that's something interesting. All right. So before starting, would you like to share what your business name is and what do you exactly do to the viewers?
Sure. So I am founder and CEO of 4P Solutions. We are an 8-year-old B2B and healthcare-focused digital marketing firm. By digital marketing, I am sure you guys know what digital marketing is all about, but just for all audience. So we help companies, we help doctors, hospitals to reach out to their customers, patients through the power of online marketing. So we use different tools like LinkedIn specifically for promoting companies if they want to reach out to other companies. We use tools like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram to promote doctors, hospitals. So that's what we do. We have been there for last 8 years now. So in terms of digital marketing agency curve, we are there for quite some time. And we have been growing at a pretty decent pace year on year. So that's it about me.
Okay. So for the first question, I'll say, how did you get the idea of this startup? That you want to do something in digital marketing space, or how did that come to your mind?
Correct. So as an entrepreneur, my journey, I wouldn't say started in 2012. So the seeds were germinated or sowed into me probably since my college days. So I used to have a lot of ideas like rent-a-maid, service, tea house. But back then, during my engineering days, MBA days, I'm talking about mid 2000. So the startup era wasn't that great. So couldn't do much about it. So by the time I joined my MBA course, I finished it. I used to work with Aditya Birla. So I worked for 3 years in corporate. So I actually started out along with a couple of partners, a firm which was more into school automation system. So we used to take care of managing schools' day-to-day activities through software. It didn't really pick up back then, and one of the allied services what we used to offer were websites and portals for schools and colleges. So that idea picked up. My co-founders went back to corporate. I continued, and slowly it moved into digital marketing. So I wouldn't say I'm the best qualified person for digital marketing, but having a computer engineering degree and MBA marketing, so in terms of credentials, I think it was best suited for me back then. And again, in terms of initial capital, that was one of the industries which required very less capital. So I bootstrapped it, didn't take much of funds. So that's the reason I ventured into digital marketing. And back then in 2012, it was a pretty virgin market. So very few companies were there. Digital was more about your Google search ranking. That's it. Social media was more or less non-existent. So I entered at a very early stage, and yes, it has been a good journey.
Right. So you specifically said that you were more into the healthcare market. So would you like to elaborate, like how did you end up in that, like that specific vertical or that business?
So see, 8 years, obviously you interact with a lot of different customers, you get a lot of different use cases. So let me take the healthcare space, what you specifically asked about. Yeah. So let's take an example of a dentist. So even if you look around, you must be having at least 4 to 5 dentists in a vicinity of 500 meters. Right? So there is no differentiation between one dentist and other dentist. Obviously, once you start going to a dentist, probably you stick to that dentist, and then your family members also go to the same dentist. But as a dentist, what can they do to market themselves, to promote themselves? Do they do any activities to engage with their existing patients? Probably no. So once you go and sit in the front of a dentist in his or her chair, that's the only time when you interact with them. Dentist doesn't give you a call every week. Hi, Prathamesh, how are you? How are you doing? How's your teeth? No, right?
Yeah.
But through the power of digital media, the dentist can actually engage with his or her existing patients. And dentist example, if I had to give you further, you will only remember your dentist when your teeth, you have a lot of pain in the tooth, right? Otherwise, you won't even go to the dentist. But preventive dental care is much more useful compared to curative measure. So instead, if you go to a dentist every 3 months, 4 months for a basic dental checkup, a lot of problems can be cured in the future. So this awareness can only be created through the power of digital media. So I realize there is a huge gap in India. So currently there are more than 1 lakh practicing dentists in India. So that's a huge number. But compared to that, we also have a huge population of 1.3 billion people, and most of them don't go to a dentist. So somewhere I felt there is a huge gap, and digital marketing would be one of the best tools to bridge this gap, creating awareness.
That's
Okay.
something interesting.
Okay, so moving on, the next question. Was it easy for you to arrange the initial funds for your startup?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, so one of the reasons why I ventured into this space was the initial investment was not very high. It's a typical service industry model.
Okay.
It's not even a product. So we didn't develop anything, and so for which we required huge expenses, and then we start selling it. So it was more of a service model wherein we got a client who had a requirement, took advance, started working on the project, delivered it, got some money. Project 2 started, project 3 started. And in our industry, one of the biggest expenses is employees. So that's the major cost. Infra cost, yes. Obviously, place like Mumbai has its own rentals, which are a little on the higher side. But otherwise, employee cost is the maximum. And I have scaled it over a period of time. So I started with 1 employee, 2 employee. So investment was not really an issue because, as I said, I had worked in the corporate before. So I used my savings to start the company.
Right. Okay. So, like being an entrepreneur, did you face any issues in your earlier stages of the startup? Like any issues that you faced that you'd like to share?
Certainly. So, see, be it any startup, be it any industry you are in, there are two things which always will pull you down. One is the employees. So first, you cannot run a company on your own. So you need a good team. And
Exactly.
so startups struggle in the initial stage with good employees, good resource, because A, you don't have the resources to pay them, and B, if they don't buy in your dream, probably they will be just there for getting their salary and month-to-month basis. So your startup is basically a stepping stone for them to move ahead in their career. So it's very important to get the right employees, right team who are aligned with your goals. So I think that has always been a major challenge in the initial stage. I think we have improved on it over a period of time. And second would be your customers, your clients. Initially, obviously, a lot of challenges you might face depending upon what segment you are in. But most of them will have this question: Will you be around for next year? Or this is just a thing which you are there for some time and then you will disappear. So I would say clients and employees, I think that's the biggest challenge for any startup.
Perfect.
Okay.
So the next question, how supportive were your friends and family in your initial stages of your startup? How supportive were them?
Yeah, in India, support of your friends and family is very, very important. I think without that support, no startup can start. I think my biggest support have been my parents. So they have always stood behind me. So they have always said, you take care of your company, you spend enough time on it, don't worry about the house, we'll take care of it. So my father has been working, so even he's working right now, he's consultant with a very leading company. So they have been a great support. My friends have been good support. They have always motivated. Some of them, in fact, saw their dreams getting fulfilled through me. So that was also one of the things which they always pushed me for. And yes, my previous colleagues, the companies I used to work with, some of them came ahead. They initiated the projects just on the basis that, okay, you have started something, even though we don't have an immediate requirement. Just because you are doing it, let's start something with you. So yes, I think support is really important.
So I'd like to ask you over here that did you have any inspiration for starting your business? Like you said that you all through your college days also you thought that you want to start the business. So down there, did you have anyone like you inspired? You want to see, you want to become like anything like that?
In my immediate family, yes, I had few business owners. My mom's side. So my mom's side has always been an entrepreneurial side. Though we are a traditional Maharashtrian family, my grandfather, my mom's dad, he used to work in railways. He took an early retirement. He started construction activities. Then my mama took over. So probably those genes came into me. My mom, she is still an entrepreneur. She has dabbled in a lot of ventures. She ran a pretty successful coaching class in Poland. Now she is into organic farming. So there had been people whom I look forward to. Outside my family, I think one of the biggest success stories I always have seen is Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani. So I think to start something this big from scratch, from a petrol pump attendant to taking the company to one of the biggest companies globally, I think that's a real inspiration.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Next question.
So the next question, one special memory you would like to share with us about your startup?
I think the first thing in the startup always is very special. The first office, the first employee, the first paycheck which you get from client, the first client which you got. So I think these memories will always stay with me. One funny incident I would say, in my initial pitches when we are meeting a lot of prospective customers, one customer asked me, will you be there next year? So I think that was a funny incident. I said, don't worry sir, I'll be there next year, I'll be there next year after that. So this I'm talking about 2013.
Right.
So yes, this was a funny memory I still have and I'll always carry it.
Yeah. Okay. So next question would be, you said that finding employees is very difficult in this space. So how many employees did you start with? Like, was it just by yourself at starting, or you had few employees? And right now, how many do you have? Like a rough estimate.
So I obviously I started with 0 employees. So the day one was 0 employees. But then I realized obviously you need people to work on your projects. So as I said, we started more with developing websites and portals for schools and colleges. So my first employee was a web developer, and she has grown in her career. Now she is settled in Dubai, working there. So that was first employee, yeah. And over a period of time, we have increased our employee count. It has gone up, gone down. So I think highest we had 23 employees, 2018. So right now we have changed our model a bit. As I said, we are now focusing only on certain segments. So right now we have scaled it down to 17 employees. So that's the total team strength what we have.
Okay.
Okay.
So follow up to this, I'd like to ask, like you said, so you are right now based in just Mumbai or all over the country? You have clients like?
So we have clients, in fact, not only in Mumbai, even outside India for that matter.
Oh, that's
so we have currently clients in Middle East, UAE specifically. We have served clients in Sweden, Australia, USA. See, the best part about digital marketing is the location really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
sitting here so we are at least in the financial capital of India. But imagine you are sitting in a remote location in India, still you can cater to customers who are not in India. So yeah, we have served customers across the globe.
Yeah, that's seriously
Okay.
nice, you know? Yeah.
Okay,
Next
perfect.
question.
So moving on, has the company reached the position you wanted it to reach yet?
I would say no, because obviously you keep on having goals every year. You achieve some of them, you don't achieve. But I would say I have achieved some of the goals. But yeah, I wish to achieve a lot of them.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay. So since most of our viewers would be planning to start a business in some days or some point of their life, something that you faced in your initial days, that was very difficult, that you would like to, some missteps that happened by your side, or some things that they need to be aware of, such things, if you like.
So even if you have a small company, you are just starting out, always focus on systems. So systems should come first, people come second. So systems will help you in scaling up the company. If you are dependent upon the person A, person B, what if that person A leaves? Everything goes for a toss. So I think I have learned it the hard way. So focus on systems. Give good role clarity to your team, to your employees. So as a management, as a owner of the company, as an employer, you need to be business owner, not business operator. So initially it's fine, you dabble into a lot of things, but after your company starts scaling up, you need to be the face of the company. So you need to focus more on getting new business, to get into networking. A lot of networking organizations like BNI, Business Network International, TIN, get into that, network with the right people, get more ideas, collaborate. You cannot serve everybody yourself. So collaborate with like-minded people, like-minded companies. And as I said, give good role clarity to your team. So that will definitely help them in aligning with your goals, in aligning with your thoughts, and it will help you in scaling up.
All right. Okay. So do you think that? All right. So next question is, what are your future goals for expanding this firm?
Yeah. So future goals, as in we had good 2020 goals, but we have to now tweak it a little. So one of our goals for 2020 is to scale up in terms of international market. So we are looking at entering more international markets, markets like Europe, USA, more aggressively. It was a passive entry, so we'll look at going into it aggressively. As I said, the focus verticals what we are looking at in terms of B2B and healthcare, we would like to brand ourselves as number one agency in this particular vertical. So it's a huge market opportunity. So these are the two things in terms of branding, because now we have reached that stage wherein we need to brand ourselves. So we have grown over a period of time through references, through our existing customers. But branding is something which we need to focus on this year, and entering new markets. That's what we are looking at.
All right. So with this Corona thing going on, your business being online, do you think that it has had an effect on the business that is online? Because you would be a good, perfect person to answer this question.
Yeah, certainly. See, though we are into online space, we are marketing companies and entities who might not be serving online. So let's say we have a client which is into industrial manufacturing. So since their operations have stopped, their customers are not buying from them. So obviously digital marketing will play a low impact during this period. But there are other segments like training space. So we have a lot of training companies as our clients. So they have heavily started focusing on online training, online webinars. So the one thing which a lot of companies have now realized is they need to change the business model. They cannot be focusing only on offline. So it has to be online plus offline, online first strategy. A lot of companies will now start thinking in this direction. A lot of event companies have now realized this, that events can't be just offline. We need to have an online edge to it. We need to have an online persona to our events. So we had realized it long time back. But a lot of our customers have realized it. In terms of impact, obviously, it has hit our top line. Some accounts have stopped, some have taken a pause because of uncertainty factor, nothing else. I am sure India will come out of it strong.
All right. So the last question, Shraddha.
Yeah. Okay. So any message you would like to give to our upcoming entrepreneurs?
Certainly for any entrepreneur who are planning to start up on their own, just remember, you guys, you need to be patient. You can't just come out, start for 3 months, 6 months, few months, I'll try, then I'll again go back to corporate. Your reason of starting out should be very strong. You need to have a very strong why. So if your why is very strong, you can overcome all challenges. You can definitely go a long way. Remember, companies are built on strong foundation. So invest in good teams, good resources, good systems. Have a strong value system which will last you long. Don't go for shortcuts. Don't go for easy money. Obviously, money is the outcome of all these activities. But believe in your passion, believe in yourself, and you will last long. Really.
Right. So I guess that's it.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mr. Amay Katkar, sir, for being with us and
You can
sharing.
call me Amay. That's fine.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Amay, for being with us and sharing your journey with our viewers. We hope that
Thank
you
you.
liked the talk also. And
Yes. Thanks, Prathamesh. Thanks, Shraddha.
Shraddha.
And so all the best.
Yeah.
And so all the best for your future, also for your company.
Great.
Right?
Keep up the good work, guys. All the best. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.